Hey, let's talk about Legend of Korra episode 2. Yeah, last week I recorded my episode review in a funky way because my camera was having some issues. Anyways, um, I enjoy this episode a little bit more than last week's episode. It's kind of a more lax episode. Basically, and it kind of is thematically similar to what Avatar Last Airbender was like. So I think this episode feels more in line with the series than last week's episode. This episode basically is about Korra kind of still being locked up by Tenzin. Right? She just came from that life and to now learn airbending with Tenzin. She's dealing with a lot of frustration. She's not getting it because she's a very impatient person. So also obviously airbending is not going to come naturally to her. Give me a sec. So, anyways, back to what I was saying. So she, obviously airbending is not going to come naturally to her, just like airbending didn't come naturally to Aang. We learn in Avatar Last Airbender that, of course, avatars have to master all four elements, but each avatar has their own disadvantage depending on what element they easily bend the most, or whatever they're born as. Like, since Korra is born waterbender, I guess, reacts differently. So it's a whole different thing with that, and it's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see that storyline go down. And so her and Tenzin kind of end up at odds in this episode. She wants to watch a pro bending match, so she ends up going to one on accident. Meets this guy named Bolin, kind of sneaks her in, and she meets Mako, is Bolin's brother, and they learn to pro bend. Not pro bend. She learns how to do the become a pro bender match dealio thing. Pro bending, by the way, is one of the most confusing sports. Never understand the rules of the game very much. But anyways, she learns the game and ends up on their team. And Tenzin realizes, maybe this is the way that she needs to learn patience or maybe get out some of her frustrations. And, which I think is a nice moral, but I think the moral also should have been to Tenzin, hey, this girl has been locked up all of her life. It's time to let her explore a little bit on her own and discover herself. Because Korra's an adult in this show, but still has the mindset of a child because she's been locked away for so long of her life. It's kind of like Tangled and Rapunzel, except, less evil witch stuff, I guess. But, it's kind of the same storyline a little bit. And so you need to let her explore and grow her wings before, and it's kind of funny too because it's this, she does need to master the elements, but everybody's rushing her. But there isn't an immediate threat in this show like there is in Avatar Last Airbender. Like, Roku tells Aang, hey, you have 3 months to learn all the elements, right? He had to learn it super fast. There was a reason all that stuff happened. Here there is an immediate threat. Amon's in a threat. We know that by the end of the first episode. But in this episode, he's not here. No one else is super worried about him other than maybe just vague hints of him being a problem later on in the show. So, letting the girl explore for a little bit while she's still getting used to things is probably good. And I don't know why the moral's not that. But I think the moral here is fine. But even Korra realized that she needs to be a little more patient with Tenzin. So both parties realize they need to be a little more patient, and it's going to take work to master airbending, which is fair. I think this was a good episode that kind of gives us more insight, and then we get the kind of longing look of Korra and Bolin, and there's kind of hints of a romantic thing, which we'll talk about that shit fest when we get there. It's a good episode. I just think that the stuff could have been written a little bit better. But, yeah.